I was talking with a student during office hours, and this topic came up. It's the topic of disinfecting with UV light. So from the sun, right, we've talked about the electromagnetic spectrum. We've talked about everything from gamma rays and X-rays all the way down to TV and radio waves. But from the sun, we get a large range of electromagnetic energy, all the way from infrared, the visible region that we're very familiar with, as well as UV, right? We're familiar with UV as well because in those commercials for the sunscreen that you should wear, it's the UV radiation that we're worried about. It's the UV radiation that damages your skin, gives you a sunburn. And within UV, there's three different groups. There's UVA, UVB, and UVC. And we'll see that each time, right, UVA is a little bit longer wavelength, UVB is a little bit shorter, and UVC is even shorter wavelength. So fortunately for us, we mostly have to worry about UVA and UVB. UVC gets caught mostly in the upper regions of the Earth's atmosphere. It's caught and captured by the ozone layer that catches and absorbs most of the UV radiation. That being said, we still have to worry about UVA and UVB. But why is that? Why do we worry about UVA and UVB light? And to kind of tie in current events, UVC, which again is made by the sun but doesn't really reach the Earth's surface, it can be made by UV lamps. And right now, great research is being done investigating how these lamps can be used to disinfect. So New York City is using them to disinfect the subways. Amazon is working on developing robots that could scan grocery aisles with these UV lights as well to disinfect those grocery aisles. So let's take a look at why UVC can be used as a disinfectant. So UVA represents a range of about 315 to 400 nanometer wavelength. UVC represents about 200 to 280 nanometer wavelength, and UVB is right in between. But for the purpose of this comparison, we just need to pick two of these to compare. So the first step to kind of figure out why and how are these different, well, let's find the frequency for both of these wavelengths of UV light. So our calculation to determine the frequency, I know the speed of light equals my frequency times my wavelength, where the speed of light is 3 times 10 to the 8th meters per second. So let's find the frequency for both of these lights. And to make our life easy, let's pick one wavelength for each. So let's say I'm going to start with 320 nanometer UVA and 220 nanometer UVC, just to give us a wavelength that's 100 nanometers apart. All right, so let's try to calculate the frequency for both of those wavelengths of UV light. Well, the first step is I need to convert nanometers to meters. And I know that in 1 meter, I have 1 times 10 to the 9 nanometers, right? 1 meter is much larger than a nanometers. I have 1 billion nanometers in 1 meter. So now we can convert both of these into meters. I've got 3.2 times 10 to the minus 7 meters is this wavelength. And I've got 2.2 times 10 to the minus 7 meters equals this wavelength. Now we can find the frequency. So just to help ourselves, let's rearrange this equation. So frequency would equal the speed of light divided by wavelength. So the frequency of UVA and the frequency of UVC would equal 3 times 10 to the 8th meters per second, all over 3.2 times 10 to the minus 7 meters. Frequency for UVC is the same calculation, 3 times 10 to the 8th meters per second divided by my wavelength, 2.2 times 10 to the minus 7 meters. So my frequency ends up being 9.375 times 10 to the 14th inverse seconds for UVA. And for UVB, I end up with 1.364 times 10 to the 15th inverse seconds. So there is my frequency for for both of those lights. Well, now, to really compare those lights, right, I would need my energy. Let's compare the energies of both of those lights, and that requires one more calculation. So our calculation for energy is energy equals Planck's constant times my frequency, where Planck's constant is h, and that equals 6.626 times 10 to the minus 34 joules times seconds. So let's find the energy of UVA and UVB light. So energy equals 6.626 times 10 to the minus 34 joules times seconds times my frequency. My frequency is 9.375 times 10 to the 14th inverse seconds. Taking a look at units real quick, right? This is good. I'm looking for energy. The units of energy should be joules. When I multiply here, seconds and inverse seconds will cancel out, and that should leave me units of energy in joules, and I calculate approximately 6.212 times 10 to the minus 19 joules. Do the same calculation for UVC. Energy equals 6.626 times 10 to the minus 34 joules times seconds times my frequency of 1.364 times 10 to the 15th inverse seconds. Multiply. Again, the units will cancel out. Seconds will cancel out, leaving me with energy in joules of approximately 9.035 times 10 to the minus 19 joules. So we can see that UVC, right, is a little bit higher energy because 9 times 10 to the minus 19 is bigger than 6 times 10 to the minus 19. But really, to get us one step further, to really understand why this energy is important, we have one last calculation to do. And that's because this energy right here, this is the energy in one photon. So in one photon of light, I have this energy of UVA and this much energy in UVC. I wonder how much energy that is in a mole of photons. So the last question we're trying to answer is, which wavelength of UV light is more dangerous, UVA and UVC? And that kind of also gets to the fact of why is UVC used to sterilize and disinfect surfaces. So I said, let's wonder about, right, how much energy I'd have in a mole of these photons, not just one photon. So the last calculation I have to do is, well, I know that I would have Avogadro's number, 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd photons in 1 mole. Do the same calculation here. 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd photons if I had 1 mole of photons. So for our dimensional analysis, photons cancel out, and the energy in a mole of UVA is approximately 373,954 joules per mole. And when I do the calculation down here for UVC, I come up with about 543,934 joules per mole. And again, that number might not mean too much to you, so let's put that into kilojoules. So I know that I have 1,000 joules in 1 kilojoule. It's my conversion, so I divide by 1,000, joules cancel out, and I'm left with kilojoules. So for UVA, a mole of that would have the energy of about 374 kilojoules per mole. UVC would have approximately 543 kilojoules per mole. Now, why do we use UVC, right, as a disinfectant? Well, your average chemical bond energy is approximately 300 to 400 kilojoules. So UVC is well beyond that, well above that energy, right? Even UVA is within that range. And that's why we have to worry about our exposure to UV light and getting skin cancer, for example, because both UVA and UVB have enough energy, right, to help break the chemical bonds in our body that lead to cancer, help break the chemical bonds in DNA. Well, UVC is well beyond that in energy. 543 kilojoules per mole is well beyond the average bond energy. So it's certainly capable of breaking those chemical bonds, and that's why it's used as a disinfectant. It's used to sterilize because that energy is so high that that's what it's essentially doing. It's disinfecting by destroying the chemical bonds in the molecule or in the virus that it's targeting. It's destroying that viral RNA bond by bond because the energy that you're blasting it with is greater than the energy in those chemical bonds. I thought this was kind of an interesting way to kind of do some of the calculations for Chapter 6 while looking at a current topic of, what is one way we can disinfect large surfaces. And so like I said at the start of this, right, UVC is being used by New York City to disinfect subway trains. And it's also being investigated in things like grocery stores as well. Why is that the case? Because it's a very high energy. It's capable of breaking those chemical bonds.